So this is still Heroes of Might and Magic 5, and it is still me playing through the campaign, continuing on with Mission 2 of the Inferno campaign, The Promise. For the starting bonus I had to choose between 2000 gold, 8 succubi, and the spell Phantom Forces, which would allow me to create fragile doubles of any unit currently in my army, during combat of course. I had a bit of a hard time picking one, but I ended up going for the spell in the end. The opening cutscene shows Biara confronting Agrael about what Eraziel said during the previous cutscene in regards to a betrayal. Agrael tries to avoid this conversation by mentioning the fact that they still have to continue running, but Biara keeps pushing Agrael by making him feel guilty for dragging her into this mess, as she would also be considered a traitor.
Now, Agrael.
So then he gives in and tells her something that happened during his mission in the Griffin Empire. Something which changed his view on things. I'm betting that is this. And judging by the events of the previous mission, the Sovereign knows about his intentions, though Agrael does not know who was the one who gave him away.
How does he know? Who spied on me?
So Biara keeps attempting to squeeze more information out of Agrael, but it looks like he is still holding on to it. Then Biara goes on about being a loyal servant of Agrael if she helps him, and does this.
So what is the next step, my lord? Or should I say, my sovereign?
To get the heart of the Griffin.
Bro, this guy can't resist her, I'm telling you. Anyhow, as Agrael mentioned, they want the heart of the Griffin, the necklace that Nikolai had. Even though Agrael just passed on the best opportunity to just snag it when he killed Nikolai, but whatever. So the artifact is located in a mausoleum of Nikolai, which he says is in the middle of the Griffin Empire. Wait, hold on. So they're running away from Godric, right? Towards some safe place, which are the Inferno lands of Shi'ar. And now they want to get back to the middle of the Griffin Empire? I'm slightly confused, but I'll just go with it.
Yes, we must have that.
And that's about it for the initial cutscene. Okay, so again, I started off with no town in sight. The map already revealed the previously mentioned mausoleum with someone guarding it, a Haven hero named Stefan. I'm guessing that that's someone I have to fight. In this mission, Agrael starts off with 40 imps, 35 horned overseers, 15 hellhounds, and 15 hell chargers, or as I like to call them, inferno horses. Next to Agrael was an imp dwelling, a pile of gold, and a hut of the Magi. So these are the skills that I have from the previous mission, which do not align with the ones from the previous Impossible campaign and scenario fights video. Just putting this out there. I was trying to go for more of a fighter than a caster Inferno build, so there was no emphasis on learning something with magic, at least not currently. My main objective currently was to defeat someone else named Veyer, as well as to get the previously mentioned artifact. So that other hero named Veyer is also revealed on the map, and he is another Inferno hero who is seemingly after us. I proceeded to grab the imps and took a look at what the Hut of the Magi will reveal. Okay, it's just slightly forward from the current location of Veyer. There were scouts that were blocking my way forward, so I had to fight them. The fight was very simple. I just split my Inferno horses and used gating, and that's that. Next up were some specters that I took on. I threw down gates with all my units and I ganked up on them until I managed to kill them. I got to learn slow and saw another Hut of the Magi. But before making my way over there, I went towards the Hellhound dwelling, and would you look at that, they were willing to join me. Then I went after the skeleton archers. They were in pretty decent numbers, so much so that they even took out one of my horses. Though I decided to accept the losses and punish those bastards for what they did. I learned a simple damaging spell and visited the Hut of the Magi. It revealed some more of the path from the side of Veyer and showed me the same mausoleum, which kind of indicates that Veyer is trying to reach it before I do. Next up along the way were obsidian gargoyles. Now, most of these simple fights were happening like this, so I will just skip over them from now on. Unless, of course, something interesting happens during them. And after the fight, I gained another level. Since I was kind of attempting to go for the main skill of Inferno Heroes, Urgash Skull, I went for the Hellfire skill. Plus, it's kind of decent, especially if I don't really cast a lot of spells. The mana would at least go towards dealing additional damage from the unit attacks. Then there was a treasure chest. While approaching it, I got ganked by some assassins. Alright. I'm sorry, but I cannot express this enough. The amount of hate I have for this unit is just immeasurable. Anyhow, I managed to kill them while only losing one Inferno Horse. But again, I just accepted it and moved on. Slightly forward was an Inferno military outpost. Some liches guarding an artifact, as well as minotaurs guarding another Hut of the Magi. I visited the magic shrine, which taught me Raise Dead, and headed to the Inferno outpost. So here I had two main concerns, the Pit Fiends and the Succubus stack, both of which can hit me from a distance. I went forward with my Hellhounds, and I wanted to test out the Phantom Forces spell. Perhaps the summoned stack would somehow move before the enemy stacks. But this sadly was not the case, as well as I foolishly set my units to be hit by a fireball. So yet again, I just kind of accepted the losses and moved on. After finishing the battle, I saw that the Inferno outpost sold Pit Fiends and Succubi. Very good. And since I could afford it, I bought them all. Anyhow, I did not really feel like going after the liches, so I just fought the Minotaurs, got a level up, where I picked logistics as other options did not really align with what I wanted to get, and after that I visited the Hut of the Magi. Surprise, surprise, more of Vayr's path was revealed. After going forward, I found some gold, another magic shrine that taught me the spell Wasp Swarm, as well as some stables, guarded by archers. Having beefy units is quite good against ranged units, especially if you're Inferno and there is an option to summon more of them, right on top of the enemy. Simply marvelous. Then there were some Dark Raiders guarding the way forward, and I couldn't just not show this. Now, is this the most convenient battlefield obstacle placement or what? There's literally only room for one Raider to be a threat at once, at any time. And that's on top of the fact that you can summon so much more stuff and not use your main units to take them out. Absolutely insane. Then there was another treasure chest, but this time the assassins were willing to join me, probably quivering in fear after I took out their fellow brethren. Next up were Horned Overseers, who were also willing to join me. There was another Hut of the Magi near them, and can you guess what it showed? Yeah. There was also a Horned Demon dwelling nearby, but I did not go for it since I did not have enough room for additional units. Visiting a Learning Stone caused me to level up another time. I ended up picking Expert Defense as nothing else brought me closer to the ultimate skill. Next up was another Inferno military outpost. This time, I lost a few Hellhounds, but managed to kill off the Pit Fiend before he could cast anything. And would you look at that? The dwelling had Inferno Horses, more Pit Fiends, and even a Devil. Though I did not have enough gold to buy out everything. Such a shame. But hey, at least I got everything except for the Devil. Then there were some Gremlins. And Iron Golems. Now, this is exactly why you don't go down dark alleyways. Anyhow, they were also guarding a pretty good artifact. As well as another one, which was hidden inside of a treasure chest. Though I did not have any fire magic to get any use out of it. Since it was a new week, I went back to the dwelling in hopes of buying some devils. I even got rid of the assassins, just so that I could free up a slot for them. But then I realized that I did not have enough gold for more than one. So instead, I just went after some blade dancers, who are standing a little bit further down the road, and grabbed the gold that they were guarding. After which, I went back to the dwelling. However, after ending my turn, Vayr approaches Stefan, causing me to lose the mission, and sends me back to the main menu. Alright then. This means that I actually have to hurry up. Damn. So I loaded to a point before attacking the gremlins and went to kill the Iron Golems. After which I began going straight for the mausoleum. while also killing off the blade dancers along the way as they were blocking me from moving on. Then I just wanted to go straight for the goal and oh, wow. Of course there has to be a turn that makes the path longer. Just wonderful. After sparing the vampires on the road, I reached a mana well, and after ending my turn, back to the main menu we go. Alright, so I have to actually load quite a while before this. So I even went back to analyze the situation, and it looks like I was literally 1 to 2 turns short of reaching the goal. Okay. So then I tried to load before the last military outpost, where I ignored everything and went straight for the goal. And after reaching the same well, I still had quite a few movement points left, so I continued onwards, where I found a hill fort, which is something that I should definitely note, as I will need to save up extra gold for upgrading some of my units. That is, if I ever decide to give it a visit. And as my movement points ran out, I was just right there, before the goal, literally a few steps away. And back to the main menu I go. So then I tried loading to a point after capturing the first Inferno outpost and began looking for opportunities of saving movement points. I went through the Minotaurs, picked up some resources, grabbed the stables bonus, went through the raiders, grabbed some mana and skipped the assassin chest, took the horned overseers, as well as the gold lying about nearby. This time I also skipped the last military outpost and went straight for the war dancers. Interestingly enough, the vampires wanted some smoke this time, so I did my best to show them the meaning of the phrase second sun. Okay, so I was close to the finish, but right after I end my turn, Vare would arrive and make me lose the mission. At this point I was kind of losing hope for this attempt, but I still decided to go forward. Ever so close, again. But wait, there is a potential savior right next to me, the Oasis, as it gives you some movement points after visiting it. Just what I need, but will this be enough? Let's see. So, I loaded to the beginning of this turn and went straight for the Oasis. Barely enough. Come on. Hold on. No way. Stefan came in clutch and decided to give me a hand at reaching him. And after that, a cutscene appears, where Agriel is attempting to convince Stefan that he won't kill him if he gets the heart of the Griffin. As well as that there is a different demon army that will actually try to kill him. And of course Stefan refuses to cooperate. I'm not really sure how on earth was Agriel supposed to convince him here. Like, what exactly was his train of thought? He has a demon army himself, what do you mean? Anyhow, the cutscene ends and Agriel gets attacked. But before taking on Stefan, I wanted to visit the hill fort and potentially upgrade something, since I actually had a few movement points left to spare. And I was kind of convinced that I would still be able to make it. So I loaded and went after the djinns guarding the hill fort. But there was a slight issue with this plan. I had no chance of reaching the mausoleum, let alone the required oasis. Since I did not feel like replaying the mission all over again, I just went for the fight. And it looks like Stefan doesn't really have a big army. However, he was level 20 though, which is quite higher than my level 13 Agriel. Other than the fact that his units stood in place and I had to approach them, plus the fact that they could take quite a beating from me, there isn't really anything much that I can add here. Apart from the fact that he literally denied my Phantom Forces spellcast. Anyhow, I will just let the battle play out until the end. And okay, that's Stefan down. Lost it a little bit too much for my liking, but whatever. At least I reached my goal.
So my old enemy Vare and his army want to come and play, huh? So be it.
Bro, there is another fight. Really? Oh. I honestly forgot that I had to fight Vare. And oh boy, Vare is level 20 as well. Simply terrific. On top of this, he also has a lot of mana. Let's hope that he doesn't cast anything special. Army-wise, I suppose that the Archdevil stack was the scariest here. And okay, so using spells is off the table. I kind of initially wanted to see if he decides to approach me first. So I waited for a while and then just began putting down my gates. Oh boy. Well, at least my Pit Fiend could hit a really good fireball onto basically all of their stacks. And with the help of Agriel's basic attack, I managed to kill off the first devil. After that, I slowly began making my way towards their units. My main damaging stack would currently be the Horned Overseers, due to the sheer amount of them, along with the fact that Agriel has Battle Frenzy. The only downside is that they don't really move as often as I would like them to. Since the Archdevils would retaliate, I decided to target the Horned Demons. The Pit Fiend still had some mana left to spare, so I casted Vulnerability on the Archdevils to lower their defense. Ooh. Of course he had something like that in his arsenal. And yeah, the Archdevil stack summoned some Pit Lords. Amazing. Well, at least I don't have to kill them to win, because they count as summoned creatures. Then I got to take out their Succubus stack with the Overseers. At least that's their shooter down. Another devil goes down by the basic attack of Agriel, and after a short while, he decides to go after my Horned Overseers. The retaliation, plus another hit from the summoned Overseers, take them out. I like how he just decided to absolutely nuke my summoned dogs with Meteor Shower here, out of all things that he could do. But I suppose that also hitting the summoned Overseers seemed efficient enough for him. Their familiars got lucky when hitting my Overseers, taking out a bunch of them, which is not too good. So in return, I decided to target them next. And then Vare just decides to go after my Horned Overseers, with his basic attack. Alright. I targeted the Pit Lords with Agriel as they are still quite a big threat, even though I don't have to kill them. Even their basic attacks will deal quite a bit. Okay, good. After killing the familiars, the only real stack left was the Horned Demon stack. So in my mind I was like, I don't really care about any of my units anymore, as there should not be anything else after this. Wait, what? Okay, now I'm confused. Is this normal in the base game? I actually have to kill the other two stacks? Come on! And of course, just as the battle is about to end, Vare is using higher level destruction magic. Marvelous. I was ganking up on the Pit Lords, after which he decided to send them off in his own way. And right as I was about to land my final blow on the Horned Demons, the battle did not end as usual, but instead a cutscene appeared. Okay, that's a first. And it's another cinematic one. Agriel is seen fighting Veyr in the mausoleum of Nikolai. Veyr mentions that he wishes to take Agriel's head, and this is the response that he gives.
My skull will stay right where it is, Veyr. Unlike yours, it actually has brains inside.
Wow. I'm sorry, but I just want to keep this in the video. The way that they move here is just not something that I have seen in Heroes 5. Anyhow, Agriel gets knocked back towards Nikolai, after which he suddenly remembers about his initial goal. So he snatches the necklace that he was after and uses it to send Veyr to the Shadow Realm. And after this, some ghost druid randomly appears. He notices that Agriel is not a demon, so he continues the conversation. Basically, the druid is named Tiru, and he somehow knew who Agriel was, though Agriel himself only had heard about him from his previous master. Agriel reveals that the reason for obtaining the Heart of the Griffin was just so that the demons wouldn't get it. Alright. After which Tiru continues about an idea of helping each other, as there is a new big threat approaching. Some demon messiah, who apparently is very strong. Then Tiru gives his location to Agriel, some crescent moon-shaped island in Elven lands, as well as he tells him to hurry, and disappears. After which Agriel gives some comment about some incoming company to the corpse of Nikolai. And with that, the cutscene ends, and so does the mission. Alright, another one done. Just like the previous one, this one was also quite short, though at least there were some semi-challenging battles. As for the next one, boy oh boy, did I have an adventure with it. But that is something that you will have to see in the next campaign video. But until then, I would just like to say thank you if you have made it this far, and I hope that you enjoyed.